I don't know how I pull this off. I don't know how I do this. I am not upset. I am astonished. No pun intended. That this was able to come to fruition. I would like for y'all virtually send your a very 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 warm welcome to our special guest, someone who will go down as a pivotal person to bring one of the best pieces of art in the 21st century, in my opinion. I would like to bring in none other than Emmett Yonemura. Emmett, how are you doing? Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. This is. Yes, Jeff. Yes, Jeff.
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
Okay, cool. I'm so sorry about that.
No,
I feel
no.
old every second of my life now.
Are you
What
are
is
you
technology?
kidding me? Like I feel like I'm pulling a highway robbery. I don't know how I convinced you to be like, hey man, geek out for me for a little bit. You like X-Men? I like X-Men. Let's do that.
I mean, that's what did it. That'll do it. I like X-Men. You like X-Men. Let's do this. Everybody likes X-Men, right? I guess if you're here, hopefully.
That's very, very, very kind of you. I appreciate it so much. Jeffrey, a fellow follower of my channel and a friend, I was saying, awesome hi.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
It is truly an honor having you to talk about anything and everything X-Men related that you would feel comfortable with talking.
Sure.
First thing I wanna ask, and mind you, I've seen a lot of these press junkets and stuff. I know that y'all get interviewed and almost are asked the same 5 questions for almost 12 hours a day. I've been in those rooms and I'm like, man, I don't want to ask them, what was it like, the experience? Well, what was the best? I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to like word my questions right and be like, no, what hasn't been asked yet? So I could I can give that to you and see if you feel comfortable talking about it or not. But
sure,
the quote unquote cliche question, because I am interested to see how you got into it, but what made you an X-Men fan? Where did it begin? Was it the books? Was it the show? Was it the theme song? Was it the music? What was it that got you into being a fan of the X-Men?
It was the 90s show, definitely.
Yeah.
I love the 90s show. I would catch it as a kid. I'd catch it in the reruns. I'd catch it when it was airing. And the stories, the drama, the maturity, the like complex designs, like those Jim Lee designs, as well as just having these crazy storylines that no one else on Saturday morning cartoons was doing. That's the kind of stuff that was really pulling me in. I think it was pulling all of us in though, right? Like you had really good action, then you had really good drama. And it didn't feel like it was always talking down to kids. It was just telling the X-Men story. And that's what I really liked. Plus, you're right, that intro, iconic. Like you have to have that intro. No skipping it ever.
No. Yeah, and so I'll ask you this, and maybe it might be the same question. That's what got you into X-Men. What got you into animation? Because to me, I think it was different. For me, I think it might have been the Iron Giant or I can't remember which one it was, but I know that like I knew I was an animation fan, and then I found the X-Men. I was like, oh shit, I'm in. All right, whatever. Like, I'm in. Whatever. So what was it for you that got into animation?
Ooh, I'm a huge anime fan. I grew up with like the 80s and 90s anime. I would say it was probably Ronin Warriors, if you guys remember that. It aired like in 95. Like I got, some cells right there. I got a bunch of the toys over here. I mean, like awesome. I saw that and suddenly I was like, oh man, like someone upped their animation game. And I hadn't really seen a lot of Japanese animation before that. And I remember seeing it on TV and just like immediately obsessed. And then of course, I think like a lot of kids in the 90s, we were all just kind of plopped in front of the television. So I just spent a lot of hours in front of it doing my homework, but really just watching and drawing. And animation was just like the most addicting stuff that was on. I just loved it. I love everything that was coming out of other countries, especially. But like, yeah, I feel like it was Ronin Warriors that really got me hooked.
I could be wrong, and this might be so selfish, but I do truly think that those of us who grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, we got lucky with either syndicated or live animation shows in a range of capacity. There's some that was very much more drawn into kids, stuff more drawn into teenagers, and stuff drawn into more adult stuff, which I think that's something that like I'm grateful to this show is that like it didn't pull any punches.
Yeah.
thematically. And again, some people might be like, "How dare you say this?" But like, hey, at some point, these characters are into each other and they want to get it on, whatever. Like, and there's no shying away that, much like everybody else. That like that is the testament of not negating your previous fans, bringing in new fans, and teaching them like, hey, eventually, at some point, some people are into people, sometimes people are not into people, and that's fine. And
Yeah.
I love that we also got that. Like, I could look at my DNA of animation and be like, SpongeBob, X-Men, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Jack, all this stuff is just as valid as one another, and they're all doing different stuff. And
Yeah.
they're all, Ghost in the Shell is one that I think of right now, and I think Akira as well, which is right now they'll be re-releasing in a few weeks. That like,
I'm so
I'm like,
excited.
oh man, I haven't seen it in the screen in the big theater yet, so I'm praying to God I can get tickets.
Nice.
But I love that animation is still doing that. It's to this day, and I wish Hollywood could be like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If this has been working for 30, 40, 50 years, why are you afraid now? Like, there's no reason to be afraid of it. And when you swing, that's when people are most impressed. And when you build your bona fide, your credibility, I think. When you get to swing, like again, and you've probably been hearing this since the first season. They're like, a lot of us were like, okay, we're gonna have fun. Everybody sounds the same, but we'll see when we press play on Disney Plus, and then we get through those first 10 episodes, and we look at each other, and people can go watch on YouTube that people were like, yo, they're doing it, and this might be blasphemy. This might be stronger than the original show. Like, they're not pulling any punches, and like people are being stabbed, and people are letting people know like, yo, I want to them and him and her and whatever. Like, and like I'm like,
All of them.
this is how we would behave once we would finish watching the show and go to a comic shop or the pizza and be like, yo, man, are they gonna, who's gonna be with who? It's like, I am shocked how much y'all did so much legwork in that first season. And I've been telling this to people since season one. They're like, I don't pity. They have my support, but I really hope the live action folks be like, yo, man, you're not following New Mutants or Dark Phoenix now. You have to follow 97 now. So good luck with that.
Thank you. Those are really high compliments, and I really appreciate that.
Yes.
The team kicked ass. I mean, I think it helped that everybody who's working on the show like loves it as much as
Yeah.
you. Like we all really care about these characters because we grew up with them, whether it was like the video games or the animated or like all the brilliant comics. That like these storylines mean so much to us. But then it's great because everybody from even like the background designers to character designers, everyone's like, can we sneak this Easter egg in? And we're like, oh, let's do it. Let's see how much we can like just pack in there because we're just doing it because we're like, well, we'd be excited to see this.
Yes.
And like, and for me and Chase, the other director, we were really looking at the show because we both grew up with it. That we were like, well, what did this show like? How did it feel when we were kids watching it in the 90s? And we were like,
Yes.
well, it was the coolest thing on Saturday morning TV because it's like the complicated designs and animation, but then like you're saying, like the mature storylines, like they wouldn't pull punches. They were talking about civil rights, but then they were also having like crazy drama about who's sleeping with who. And you're like, I'm a child and I'm watching this. This is great. But so like then we immediately thought like, okay, we're watching this, the original 90s show again as reference, and we're going, okay, I can see how like there's parts of it that don't hold up to just modern animation, but that's because of when it was made, and that's because of the budget it had. And it's
Yes.
like we know what a huge following it had. They actually didn't receive any of their fan letters from that era. They had no idea how popular the show was. So like we're so honored that we could like give that back to them of like, are you kidding? You like changed a generation of kids. Like, what are you talking about? And so like for Chase and I, we were like, well, that's how we want then modern day kids and then people coming back to the show to like feel is it's like this is how it felt when we were watching it in the 90s. We just put more money into it because Marvel was like, we got to invest in this. Thank you, Marvel. And from top down, we just had like the most talented people that we could find who cared about the show, like working on it. So yeah, thank you though, but that's like really high praise because we're also fans, and to us it's like we got to do our heroes right, at least as right as
Yeah.
we can. They matter, especially because we haven't seen a lot of them. And there's characters in the animated series that we never really got to flesh out in like the live action that we're like, oh, we got to show people how cool these characters are or what they're really like, Rogue. you know
I literally listen. I've told this to a lot of my friends that like I'm a Wolverine guy through and through till the day I die. And
Nice.
Scott, I always respected him from far, but I was just never. He was never my guy. But I was like, okay, we did Logan, which I'm like, all right, that's as good as it can get for a while. I'm okay if that's the most we get centered Wolverine. What about everybody else? Because as much as I have my own squad of X-Men that I would pick off the line,
Totally.
what is everybody else like? And so when you do give Scott the material you gave him in season one, when you do give Aurora the material you gave her in season one, the dialogue. Listen, Lenore. I'm gonna try to do this respectively and not come off creepy. Lenore, for a lot of us, like shape a lot of how we feel about women, and also not just women, but like not being like, all right, just damsel in distress, which is
Exactly.
like some of us go like, there's something like, what happens if you can connect with someone either romantically or just as a friend or just an individual who can match you and can be just as vulnerable, if not more vulnerable than you. And what y'all gave Lenore in that first season, I still think it's a robbery that the Emmy didn't give her an award in that first season, because there is a lot that I'm like, hey man, I don't know if I agree with everything that's happening, but I have her back, because like there is no way that like you cannot feel for her, whichever way she goes, idealistically or romantically, and um just as their own, like just and that's one of the questions I'll ask you on later on. To me, people will say, the big action stuff, and even this season, the Nightcrawler point of view, just bing bang boom, cutting to a different character. Like I love that just as much, but it's the quiet moments that now, as someone who's 30, I appreciate way more. And I do that not just even with animation, but with live action. In Avengers movies, I want to spend time with them just talking and debating more than blasting each other with weapons and powers and abilities like that. To me, the
Yeah.
quiet stuff is just as impactful, if not more, than the action stuff. And I can only imagine how much y'all debate and like, no, like just stay with them talking and debating. I think.
Yeah, no, it was great because that was actually one of Bo's strongest mandates, especially in season one, was it was like, look, we're a soap opera. Like we're a soap opera with action. Like, yes, they're mutants, but that's kind of not what they're about. It's about, what's happening to them and the like not just the social issues, but just like the melodrama that's happening between the characters and how hard it is to live in a world like this. So he would say that it's like, for as great and flashy as we make the action, like the drama has to sing. And
Yes.
we all obviously 100% agreed, because it's like we love these characters and we feel so attached to them for that reason. It's like these are relatable characters, and if you couldn't
Yes.
relate to them, then what's the action for? Like then the
Mhm.
action is just kind of to be showy, and it's like that's not X-Men. Like we can all go to different superheroes if we were just kind of looking for showy, and it's like, nah, I'm here to also get my daily dose of medicine. So
Yes.
let's do it. Like let's so no, I love that like that was being pushed from top down, and we all fully supported that. Like if when we deliver an episode, we have to deliver a certain amount of footage to the
Mhm.
animation team. So it was kind of like, the mandate was, well, if we're gonna cut anything, cut from the action first. And it's like, I like that. I like it because I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, it's the drama that matters, and then hopefully we pay it off with some really cool action, but there should be like drama within the action too. Like it has to
Yeah.
be storytelling 100%. So I'm glad that it comes through and you guys feel that.
Especially when nowadays, and you say, and I tell people that like animation has evolved so much more, than now stuff is quote unquote easier to do and make, but it's also very disciplinary thing. We're like, all right, how much is too much, and how much are you just showing off? And you know, I like sometimes my Michael Bay side, but sometimes it feels like, all right, I'm done with this. Like, cut to something else like that feels more dramatic and whatnot. Like, I don't need just bombastic stuff all the way. But I think that's the balance of like how much is too much. And when the one I think of right now instantly is one of your episodes of season one, episode 5, I think, where it's like, okay, they're right now in Genosha dealing with that stuff, and then Scott's got to deal with, all right, he's been cheating on Jean, quote unquote, with Madeline, quote unquote, and as soon as they're arguing down the stairs, Hank is being interviewed by someone he has a crush on, and he's going like, oh, he says, oh dear, but he might have well been saying, oh fuck, like
Yeah, no,
like
that was the
real life,
context.
yeah.
Yeah. Like great. Great. They're fighting on camera. Like solid move, guys. Yeah. PR for the school and you guys are fighting.
Yes,
Meanwhile, the rest of us are eating our popcorn, like, oh my God, what are they gonna
yes,
do next? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I man, okay, so I think my friend and my co-host will be joining us soon, Darren.
Amazing.
And I think when I list, so people don't know, or if people don't know, please do your research. But like, I'm gonna tell you now that I can hear just fine. Thank you, Keep It Jeffrey. Cameron Hooker says hi. Cameron Hooker says I got introduced to the X-Men by the movies and Evolution and Wolverine and X-Men. Nice, nice. See,
Nice.
animation's still huge. I'm gonna run down your belts, your titles, because people again, I was doing again, like I'm trying to do research and do all stuff, but I tell people like, oh, just so you know, Emmett is responsible for Fire Made Flesh, Remember It, Bright Eyes, Tolerance is Extinction Part 2, and that's just season 1. But then you were also doing Days of Past Future, A Force to Be Reckoned With, my favorite episode of season 2,
Thank you. Mine too.
Danger.exe, Strange Land, Savage Land, and you co-directed with Chase Conley, if I'm not mistaken, The Dead Man's Hand and Survival of the Fittest, the last 2 episodes of season 2.
Yeah, and actually, episode 1, Days of Past Future, and episode 3 are actually both me, Chase as well.
Co-directing?
Those got kind of recut and remixed in post, so it's actually like half the episode's mine, then half the episode's his, and the other one, like it's like so they're correcting the credits
credits?
because
Correct.
yeah, because we realized like how much our teams were really involved. We want to make sure everybody gets like proper credit too, because our teams are like they usually work for us.
Mhm.
So it's just yeah, and everybody did such a great job. Those were all of those 2-parters were very hard to manage. So it's like that, and I know that the fans feel it a little bit in some of the storytelling, but it's like, look, that's kind of just second season woes. It feels like at this point. So yeah, but it was all hands on deck, and man, our teams like really hit it out of the park, especially when it comes to visuals, because we were just like, look. At some parts, we might not really know what's going on plot-wise anymore, but we're gonna make sure it looks good. So we were just like, let's just at least hope that the melodrama plays and we just get some cool moves in there. So.
Yes. Someone who I know will freak out, and I know it's just as much as a hardcore fan of I am of X-Men, is my dear Darren McClemens. How you doing, Darren?
Hey.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Darren,
Absolutely.
Emmett, Darren.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Darren, if you didn't hear what I was naming off Emmett's championship belts, directed a lot of X-Men 97, and one that I think you and I will have to still deal with in therapy is Remember It, season 1. So I've been waiting to ask about that until Darren got here, because I wanted to Darren be like, yo, dude, like remember that week we were all crying and like pissed? It was partly responsible for that. Can I ask you, Emmett, and again, if you can't answer some stuff, I get it, because Disney, Marvel, NDA, and all that stuff. How, so people know, how long was the process of like, okay, y'all got the script for Remember It, you knowing, oh boy, or oh dear, we're going to do this, and if we pull it off, it's going to work, but people are going to still be mad and cry out, but we should do it. How long did it take from like getting the script to the last animation, last recording, last thing you did? How long did that episode take to come together?
I mean, I feel like it's the classic Marvel way where it's delivered almost before it's due. So I want to say like we held that secret in our hearts for like 2 years. It was rough because it's just like you're sitting there and you have the animatic and then you have the animation and then you're going through all the final mix and you're just like, oh God, this hurts. And are people gonna hate us for this? Like, we don't even know how people are gonna react. Like, so I hope that they at least appreciate the storytelling. We'll see what happens. And but yeah, I think, you know, every show is different, but I feel like that's one where it mattered a lot to Marvel as well. So I think all the way up to the last minute, just making sure, is the dialogue correct? Do we have it read the correct way? How's the music sounding with it? So I do think it was probably a good like 2 years of us being precious with it and holding it like a baby while still working on like the other seasons as well. So it's like, but it's
Oh
just
man.
like everything crosses over. So it's like as soon as you finish season 1, it's like you start on season 2, but it's like
Right.
meanwhile you're like, hey, remember when we did this? Oh shit. Oops.
Um, to me, Darren, if you have a question or something you want to say, you let me know when you're ready. To me, seeing Dazzler, I was going like, oh shit, there she is, Allison. And I like, I might not. Darren, you tell me if I'm just being biased, or whatever. I do think when I ended the episode, people can go watch it. I cried. Like I'm pretty
Aw.
sure that was the Infinity moment where like we kind of like at that point we all knew like the snap was gonna happen, but we just didn't know they were gonna do it and like leave that like even the choice of the music, the sad piano version of like I remember just like you're both crying and like vulnerable, but yet you can't not go like but like
Oh,
holy shit, what
thanks.
the like that was Red Wedding, that was Infinity War, like
Oh,
that
that's
like
high
that is
praise. Thank
no
you.
no
Oh
I'm
man,
not
the red wedding. Woo.
oh that is generational moment. Like again, like in terms of a script, in terms of direction, in terms of acting, like that is the episode I think of now when we go to and it's not fair because that movie has to do its own thing and with that cast and that too, but it's just like yo, the last like thing that like really made a punch and like I think I mean and look at the social media of that week, it was the talk of that week and the following weeks. Like man, what the hell they did it and like with the character and like with Remy and how dare you say I can't feel you when she's hugging like how dare you like what the hell, there's Legion over there, like it was for
Oh,
the next
thank
2 years, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was hard. And then I was very grateful that everybody at least was like the episode worked, the storytelling worked. People were responding the way we were hoping, as opposed to just wishing us all dead, for killing off Remy.
Yes.
Which is like as a fan, I probably would have been in that place of just like, how dare you? This is my boy. This is my boy who gets no screen time in the live actions, as it finally did in Deadpool 2, like 3, thank God. But like where's our Gambit content? And then I was
Yeah.
like, well, great. Now we're taking it away from people. But yeah, no, it was. I like to tell people that if they watch What We Do in the Shadows, I'm definitely like an emotional vampire. So I fed that week. So thank you all for your tears. I was just like, yes, yes.
Darren, do you have a question or a comment you'd like to ask?
I mean, I've talked to Ronan about this, but like at the time, my favorite X-Men is like Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler.
Yay!
And like at the time, I was like, they brought him in. This is fantastic. That's going to be the highlight of this week's episode. And then every moment that like preceded that like him being introduced is like, oh, now they did this and they did this and they did this. I don't want to repeat anything Ronan has asked or said up until this point, so please forgive me. But
No.
how do you go about interlocking these various storylines? Because I think my favorite thing about that episode is that you can do the Scott and Jean drama and interlock that with the Gambit storyline with Rogue and the like Magneto and Rogue. Like how do you guys go about kind of intermixing those stuff?
Yeah, I'd say that's the brilliant writers, and Bo wrote that episode, and like that was clearly like the episode that was pitched, like that. This was the iconic episode that was obviously gonna like make or break the season, and so like the intercutting was already really smart in there. I think like the major additions that we found in animatic and like I found in storyboards was, oh, we really have to introduce Genosha. Like originally it didn't have like a huge introduction, but it was like we need more because we're gonna destroy it, and we got to get people to like love this city. And like a classic trope, but like one I've done before, but one that was also easy to do with this was to introduce the city through the point of view of the kids. And I tasked my one of my brilliant board artists to do that because she's just great with child acting, but I was like, see the point of view of the city through the kids, because if these kids who are visibly mutant feel safe and are happy, then this is a good place, right? Like then there's probably safety here, they're feeling it, it's no longer like an internment camp, it's like a progressive city now. And so we were finding like paces like that and story points, and then also finding like how do we the next step after having the storyboards is taking it to my editor, and Michelle McMillan won an award for that episode because she did a brilliant job. But she's really good at then finding like that heartbeat in the episode of like, okay, here's the pace. Now if we're going from this couple having this dramatic moment, and then we like cut over here and we've got this dramatic moment, then we're keeping it up here. And she would just make all these really smart choices, and sometimes be like, I'm gonna cut one of your babies. I know you love all this art that you turned in, but it's slowing us down. And she'd just be like, so all of this was pulled out. And I'd watch it and be like, oh, I miss those drawings, but this is better. Like, and it's great.
Yeah.
And so then you really have like moments lining up, like when Madeline gets her nosebleed, it's because things are about to kick off. She's getting that. Sorry, Jean gets her nosebleed. Things are about to kick off. And then Madeline gets to actually say goodbye to her child, which we were just like, they almost wanted to cut that moment. They were like, I think for time. And I'm like, oh, please don't. It's like the whole reason we had a Goblin Queen episode. Like that's all leading to just this one moment when she like Cable comes to warn her but not save her in time. And it's like, I think he has a line in a different episode where, unless it got cut, but it was like he's tried to save her like hundreds of times and always fails. And it's just like, it's so heart-wrenching that I'm like, you have to keep that moment in there, because honestly she dies happy because she knows that Nathan made it. And it's like, oh, she's the only one who dies happy tonight, but like at least we've got that going for us while the rest of this is traumatic. And I love that. I live for those moments where you can be living in the melodrama. I've seen some people online talk about how like they gave up on the show because Rogue was cheating on Gambit with Magneto. And I'm like, well, but like, give it a second. Like, just give it a second and see where it maybe we were doing that torture for a reason. Like, we don't like it either. Oh my God, half of us on the crew when we were like reading those earlier scripts were like, ew, we don't want this storyline. Like, I know Savage Land, I know their history, but we're kind of like, we can move beyond that though, right? Like, do we have to do this? Like, no, we're all here for like Rogue and Gambit content. What are you doing? Like, so we had all the same like, please don't do this. But then we realized, like, well, as fans, if we're having that reaction, like,
it's working.
God, it's working. That is the soap opera. And it's like, oh, but please, like, stay to watch how it goes, because it strengthens their relationship for like 2 hours.
Y'all, it didn't help because again, look at what Magneto. Besides, Magneto was right. Like y'all made Magneto a DILF. Like that dude. Like and again, I'm Rogue is my baby and I remember like talking to a lot of friends. We're going like, yo, what the hell? The sleeve, the big M, the muscles, like, and again, which is why I've been championing that Lee Pace should probably play Eric in action, but that's just me. And I was just like, yo, that like, and again, I'm Remy and Anna Marie, but like there's a friend of mine who she's also like, no, Rogue and Eric and like, and again, that was the biggest thing with that episode. I was just like, damn, I get why Eric is a clever son of a, but like it makes sense because she wants to make some change. And again, I tell people, and I think Lamar also said that like Rogue and Remy haven't been an official thing. Even in the episode themselves, I always play the Swamp Rat and I always play your share, but we never made it official. So technically no lines were broken, but it was still like, again, I think it was episode 2. Yes, once Aurora lost her powers, where she leaves the office, putting her glove back, and you see Remy holding the card, and he drops it, and that felt very like. Listen, I'm Latino, so I have seen that shot in a bunch of Mexican soap operas since I was a kid, and so I finally this show I would ask my family every week when the show was dropping. I was like, all right, now I'm living what my mother and my grandmother go through when they watch the novellas, and be like, oh God, not this.
I love it. I love it though.
Yeah.
Also, high compliments if we're hitting those levels of soap opera, because that's peak. That is peak there.
Yes. For any Latino fans, Destilando Amor, there was a lot of that going on, and
love it.
Yeah, I just it's again, I'm not trying to be a pun, but it's astonishing how much that came through with your work in season 1 and in season 2.
Thanks. I know it's one of those things that I had to keep reminding myself, where I was like, Remy was always going to bars in like the first seasons of like and then Rogue would be mad, like, where were you all night? And it's like, but you guys aren't together. And I think that's why in this season for season 1 for 97, we were just like, okay, but can we finally put them together? Because as fans, we've been waiting so long, like
Han and Leia moment.
just to
Yeah.
see it in animation. Like,
Yes.
we gotta do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Like, there was no official cheating. Maybe a little bit of emotional cheating, but they're all I mean, that's what the X-Men do, right? They're always emotionally cheating and then really cheating. So
Yeah.
See, in the first show, there is an episode where Storm and Logan are a thing, and then we see her now with Forge. I'm like, that makes sense because I don't have it here, but I have Life Death over there. I'm like, that I get that why they would go down the road, but yeah, I
yeah,
think it's part of it. Like that should be shine away. I think, in my opinion.
I agree. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Darren, also another one that like I don't know how you feel about this episode, but to me, my favorite episode of season 2 was a force to be reckoned with, and that was the X Force versus X Factor Jubilee led episode.
Sure.
I think that's how I first started communicating with Emmett about like, yo, finally, like vindication for anybody who made fun of her fireworks and stuff. Like the point of view with her and the lines being crossed, and how I mean it's still happening. It's not and again I'm not trying to get bring us to the level of CNN and Fox News, but like I can't not shy away of how much a lot of that stuff that the episode was dealing with policing and how community policing, how's that looked on and how that was being brought up. How I can't ignore that when I go out my window and I'm seeing all this stuff happening out in the real world, and it's just like that tells you that was another compliment. That felt like Andor. Like when I'm not watching Andor, X-Men 97 is my Andor, and being like, yo, that is so much stuff being done. And for people who don't know, like again, I've heard stuff. I don't work in the industry. Animation, it's a lot of like for under 30 minutes. Stuff like you said, the stuff is cut. Some stuff is put back at the very last second. Like I am shocked how much punches were thrown, and yet you were able to give Jubilee her own time to shine and get a moment to like not mature, but just you see the growth right there. Like this is not the same kid that was running around the mall anymore. Like this kid, and making her own stand. Like I'm not gonna cross this line and cross this line. Like Darren, how do you feel about that episode? And I would like to also ask Emmett, like looking back now, like is that your favorite episode, or what was there something specifically at that moment in that episode that you loved that you were like, all right, we got that through more than anything?
I mean, I felt like I was consistently always rooting for Jubilee in that original show. I felt like we always got like a little taste of like, okay, she's maturing, and then you kind of have to go back to the status quo due to what kind of show it was. And I think that's been my favorite element of this season was, I think the fact that this show is more episodic than the classic show. Obviously, no disrespect to the classic show; it's one of the greatest of all time. But this show lets characters really evolve and morph, and I think making having her have her birthday last year and be officially an adult, I think allows her to grow and evolve, and seeing that journey. And I guess as a like community where like everyone's like, oh, Jubilee's cool now, like we can all love Jubilee as a collective, was really, really awesome.
I love that because I think for me growing up with Jubilee, I found her so annoying because it's like I don't know why Saturday morning cartoons do this, because they kind of did it with Robin too, although he wasn't as abrasive. But it's just like they go like, oh well, the kids are the entry point, they need the them version. And I was like, I don't know what kid wouldn't be so excited to be in this position. Who wouldn't want to be Robin next to Batman? Who wouldn't want to be Jubilee with the X-Men? I was like, I feel like I would be less obnoxious about it, and I'd be a lot more excited and like, oh my god, train me, I'm so ready for this. Like I don't want to whine about how like shitty this is. I want to like enjoy. I get to be a hero? What? So like I think just I had all those frustrations as a kid. Not everybody did, but it was just also then being like half Japanese and just being like, why is she the Asian character? Like why? Where's my representation that's not just like whining all the time? Like but I understood though still like what her archetype is for, what her character has to do. It was just like, can we just get her out of the teenage stage where she's just like figuring out her hormones, and can she like step it up a notch? And this was the perfect episode. My assistant director is also Asian American, and for us this was about not just representing what ICE is doing today, but like also Asian American history. I mean, like my grandparents met in a camp. It was just it's just one of those things where I'm like, Jubilee would actually be really pissed off about this because not only
Yeah.
was she interned in Genosha, like she was put in a cage in Genosha, so
Yeah.
she's actually had that experience, but like it's riddled throughout her country's experience. It always is happening to minorities. Like she's like yet again. And another thing that was really prominent in the Asian American community is like, you know, you're taught by your parents, like, don't beat the nail that sticks up, you'll get hammered down. I'm sure like everybody hears that, but it's just one that just passes
Don't like the boat.
generationally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs running around. They're being
No,
monsters.
it's all
Okay,
right.
good, cool. They're having fun, but it's good. But like, so for me and David Au, my assistant director, it was like we've got to make a statement here that it's kind of no longer about waiting for the superheroes to show up, but you are the superhero in the room. So be that nail. Just be that nail, Jubilee. You know you want to be. You know you're adjacent to it. And I really wanted to make sure it wasn't just about like a girl power thing, and it wasn't just about her finding her adulthood, which I think at times, and I don't blame them, but Marvel Disney was a little bit like, oh, we're treading some very careful waters here. Maybe it's kind of about her growing up. And I was like, but it's not. It's not. It's kind of about how governments are putting people of color in cages. I was like, I'm sorry. So, you know, he and I, we dressed up in our nicest suits and we went to our execs and we were like, please don't soften this. Like it's gotta be. And they were like, well, you drew too many children, like small children in those cages. Not all mutants, like, you know, maybe make them like prepubescent teenagers. And we were like, okay, I hear you. But we still have to have some kids in there. Because the whole point is that, like, some kids don't get that, like, oh, I just have powers. Some of them are Morlocks. Some of them are born visibly different. And guess what? It doesn't matter what age they are. They're getting locked up. And I'm like, so it matters. And so we were like, can we at least have Maggie there? Like, please don't take her away. Because her storyline is exactly the storyline we're doing. It's about this persecution. And, like, when I first saw her character design, even I was a little bit like, I don't know, guys. That's not cute. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the whole fucking point. I'm sorry, I mean we can't curse on, but I was like, but that's the whole point.
Please.
I'm like, that's the exact point. Is that she looks that alien. I want people who don't know who she is. They're gonna go, what the hell is this? And be like, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
Like it matters. And then I want Jubilee to then kick ass because she has to show people this is not okay. We shouldn't be used to seeing kids in cages. Like, we should be more upset than, like, anytime I see it in a storyline and I'm like, people aren't taking this seriously enough. Don't desensitize us to this. Children in cages is a problem, and it always will be. And I'm like, but then she's got to go hard, and she does. And we're like, we're gonna make her be cool. She's gonna do really good action because we need her to also help us feel better. But like, she needs to like save some kids and pull them out of those cages and basically like flip the middle finger to ice, because it's like this isn't a good place to be. And sorry, X Factor, but you did choose the wrong side.
Yeah, like I was like, again, oh my gosh, because you said it, like I'm pretty sure it was that the reason why I noticed Maggie in the episode. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't read the comic yet, but I know what's that about. And it was, for those who don't know, it's from an famous Alex Ross cover, which is Marvel's. And shout out to Hector Navarro from Heroes Report, who like broke it down to me and be like, oh man, that is a deep cut of a character that fits the theme of the episode and the theme of the X-Men. And be like, you look at her, and maybe, you know, I don't know if you think it's canon or not, but what she goes through in the comics, being in the basement with the family, like maybe that's before or after this, I don't know. But like, I remember being like, oh my gosh, that's from that. And like, even like her, because she notices Jubilee and she puts her hand in the glass, and that's what breaks Jubilee right there. And and again, you're talking about how you also have to give Jubilee her kick-ass moment. You put in the Volcano Girls song, I think, to give her the better X-Men Origins Wolverine moment where he just starts clawing the cages. Like, no, that feels earned in this one, and it's very, for those who are into it, it feels like what Star-Lord did with his volume track. And again, her like turning off the lights, and it felt, when animation could do the turning off the lights and fighting sequence, that is magical, because I'm like, that feels like, quote unquote, either they were ordered to save money and be like, well, what if we turn off the lights and let them kick ass and see if they can do this move? And it makes sense because she has the abilities with her the light and the fireworks. And I just, I adore. And again, like you brought up X-Force, Oh man, I don't want to get emotional, but like, yeah, when I see a lot of, especially, because again, I can only speak from my side, but when I see a lot of Latinos and how they don't bat an eye to what's happening, and I see some of them working this, and I instantly, I'm like, oh my god, that is X Force right there,
Or
and
X Factor. Yeah.
X Factor, yeah, my bad, X Factor
So
doing
many
that, and the
X's.
fact that it's Scott's brother who's leading the team, and the fact that, like, I love that Jubilee gives him a jab, like discount Scott Summers, if you will.
Yeah.
The fact that
Discount
Polaris is
Cyclops.
behind this, yeah, and again, also with X Factor, that is for people who don't know, that's the Black Ops team, and when they tie up the dude to the tree, I was even thinking, oh man, I wouldn't be shocked if people talk about how it probably still happens, and we just don't hear about it or see them as much. But people used to be thrown up on a tree and get killed, and like, what happens when your own kind does that? But it's like, no, this is not murder, this is mercy. And seeing that be brought up into the conversation, I was just going like, oh my god, like what the, like what are you doing? But also, like, keep doing it, please. Like, this is so rich. Which again, the way this season ends, I wouldn't be shocked if those two teams and this stuff still carries on with now Creed being the president and be like, oh, this is not poignant. There's no reason why we shouldn't talk about this with these two specific teams out in the loose and what that means now. And I commend that episode so much. I
Thank you.
adore that episode so much. God.
Thank you. I did too. That one means a lot to me because I think we had the most that we wanted to say with that, and we also had a really strong script. I think that one was Anthony Salidi and Mariah Wilson, and they knocked it out of the park. And I think the only thing I did was I added the music and I made the fight scene longer because I was like, this just the payoff. If we're gonna go that heavy with the themes, the payoff has to be good because I also want people to feel like, maybe we can do something about this, like maybe we can stand together and like actually, not literally, but sometimes it's necessary to fight back, but like how can we as a community like push back against these atrocities, because we can't let this happen and we can't keep waiting for somebody else to fix it, because I think that to me was like, this is how Jubilee changes, is she realizes that she is the X-Man in the room, that like, why am I waiting for somebody else to show up when I'm already here and she can take care of herself? So I was like, oh, we get to do so much cool stuff with her. And Brad Winderbaum, our executive producer, was like, also, by the way, I want the X-Force opening. And we were just like, that seems really cool. This seems hard. And then we were like, actually, I think we know how to do this. And it was just so much fun. So when it like opened, because I hadn't seen it until it aired, I was just like, I was laughing so hard and I was so giddy because I just thought it was like the coolest thing I had ever seen, because I love Cable. I've always loved like my give me my Kurt Russell, my 80s Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes, this is so great. Like, where's this spinoff? I would watch this.
Oh, so... heartbeat. Yeah. Darren, do you have a question or comment about this season?
No, I mean, I would just kind of comment on, some of the things that you were saying about that. I mean, first of all, thank you for fighting to get these storylines in these shows. Like, you hear so many stories about how these creatives in these animated shows have to fight if it's like a Steven Universe or if it's like a Gravity Falls or like an Owl House or something like that. And I think it'd probably be very easy to just be like, fine, whatever, let's just listen to what they say and do whatever. But I think building on what you were saying, Ronan, like that moment fit hard. I can't speak for the show itself, but like I can only speak from like the queer community, where I would often see, after some recent events, these people that are being affected by what's happening in the world siding with said people that will be doing the affecting. And I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Like, this is hurting you and the community that you're a part of. And so I thought that element of this episode hit really hard for me, where it's like the people that you would think are here to help aren't helping, and putting a light on that, I think, is very important. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I do admire that Marvel also cared, because they understand what the show is, but you never know when you're under larger corporations. Like, you have a lot of people at like way above you, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And so like, I was very grateful that Marvel was willing to trust us with those swings then too. Like, when we approached them and said, we just don't want to soften this, we just think it's just too important, that they trusted us with that. And then they held true, because like I left the show after season 2, that it's like, I don't know. It's their show, you know. Like I don't know what they'll still want to do. There was a line between Jubilee and Havoc before he puts her in the cell that I do miss a little bit, where she's just like, "How could you do this?" And he turns around and says to her like, "You should have seen the other option. It was a lot worse." And I think that for me was at least a way of getting X Factor to not be like, they're not fully ice, right? Like we still know that they are mutants and they're still heroes. They're still a hero archetype. Like they're not bad guys. So you have to justify like, why was this the better option for them? And you kind of go like, like what does that mean? But it was a great way of still humanizing X Factor too, I thought. And I think that was another concern from Marvel, where they were just like, we just don't want to make it like X Factor is just not sane. And we're like, no, it's just that it's a government thing. Like everybody gets assignments, and what are the boundaries? When do you say like, no, this is too much? And you pull a Polaris, where when Polaris found out and she was like, oh, this is terrible, okay, I'm gonna help you get out of here. And then later she's basically giving Val Cooper the middle finger and saying, you can fire me all you want, I'm already gone because I think this is gross. And I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, good, like, because you should put your foot down, right? Like if
Yeah.
you do see these atrocities happening and it's your boss's asking, it's a difficult position, but hopefully you can be in a position to make a stance. Not everybody is, and I really do feel for people who are in hard situations like that. But then I hope that's what shows like this can like at least help give comfort for, because that's
Yeah.
what they were for us when we were kids. Is just like, where is our representation, right? Like where is the queer community? We don't get to see it visibly on screen very much. So cool, what can we then represent here that at least will hopefully help kids feel less lonely, or know that that you will find your chosen family and things like that, so I like then that we kind of can break it down from a bunch of different sides. And it's not like Havoc and Val Cooper won't come around, who knows, but it's like at least giving them a perspective where it's
He
just
did
like,
at the end. He said,
yeah,
Cooper, like, we can't do, like, this is crossing the line. People gonna think we're against me. Like, no, we're just against Charles and his team. It's like, even he could be like, I don't know about this.
right.
Um, Did you lobby for this episode, or was this one they gave you, or did you get the script and like, I need that one, give me that one? I got that
It
one.
was actually David Owl, my assistant director, was talking to Bo about like wanting a Jubilee episode. So he was like, "Well, here you go." And at first I was like, "Wait, where did this come from? Like, I want that Wolverine. Like, I want the Thing episode. I want the horror episode. What's?"
Yeah.
But then when we were like, "Oh, this is a really good chance for us to actually like express ourselves as Asian Americans and as minorities," I was like, and as kids who grew up watching Jubilee, like, you're cool, but you could just be so much cooler. Like, please stop. Please just step it up a little bit or grow up a
Yeah.
little bit, right? Like, yeah. So we were just like, oh, we got to do this. So it was him, and all credit to him, because he's also the one who storyboarded her fight.
Yes.
And my God, just it's gorgeous. And I was like, you nailed it, buddy. Like,
Shout out to him.
Yeah. Shout out to David Out. He's brilliant. And when I had left, he replaced me as director. So for season 3, you guys are in really good hands. I'm so excited for that season. Just now as a fan, where I get to sit back and enjoy it, I cannot wait.
Right on. Jeffrey does say, Darren, hi. You guys are amazing. I still can't believe it. My favorite X-Men character is Wolverine. Cameron Walker does say, Jeffrey said, my favorite is Jean and Storm. Charles, of course. I just love them all. I love the
Aw.
Savage Land and Danger EXE episode, the Polaris highlighted one. You guys made Polaris a goddess. Yes. Polaris is
Thank
also my
you.
favorite character in X-Men 97.
Nice.
Okay, so I don't want to keep you longer than we have, because I know you have a busy schedule. So, Darren, you said Nightcrawler is your favorite character. I gotta
I'm
ask,
so sorry.
because I remember from what was it? It was it was, I don't know, it was how much you guys spent time with, how much Kurt meant to Rogue, how much Rogue meant to Kurt. Like, to me in season 1, when they hugged during Dia de los Muertos, that broke me. I was like, oh no, like, he knows, he understands. Like, no, you love 2 men, and like, it's okay that you helped them live. They didn't, you're not responsible for the death. Like, that really got to me. And even the penultimate episode, when they have this, and he's like, I know, Kurt. He's like, don't worry, sister, everything will be going okay, I promise. I was like, don't say that. Don't tell me you're gonna do this to this dude at the end. And we get to the episode, and I had to, I was talking to Emmett there before I went to Comic-Con. Like, we gotta do, and scheduling all that stuff. But I was like, I had seen the finale before I went to Comic-Con. I was like, oh fuck, I can't tell anybody about this. until the episode drops.
Welcome to
And-
our struggle.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Darren, I've been talking too much. I want to hear your thoughts on it. I don't know how you felt, but like when I saw Rogue says to Remy, there had to be a sacrifice, and we cut to Hank. He's holding the Bible, and you can see in the reaction with me and Sam when the white cloud of the location of the room inside the Apocalypse ship, and we see Kurt with the burnt hands. I was like, no, don't do it. I was like, don't do this to me. My only question is, was it always Kurt that was going, or was that something that was a debated thing?
I think it was a change later. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a shift later. Because second season wasn't the easiest for us to produce
Right.
for lots of reasons. And like I think it was like a shift later. And we were all a little bit like, I don't know, is this too soon? And we were also a little bit like, oh God, this is just gonna destroy Rome.
Yes.
Like she just keeps losing everybody. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, but okay, it's the job. We'll do this, and how can we do it in just the most heartbreaking way possible? But we're just like, no,
But you would do it.
We'll
Yeah.
do it. We'll do.
Yeah.
As we're like, I feel like we're hired gunmen. It's like, okay, we'll take them out. But like, are you sure? Are you really sure?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it came later down the line from Marvel, but we were just like, oh man, all right, like way to take away the cake after you just gave them to people. So I apologize.
I anyways, I'm gonna ramble. Please, Darren, I know you're Nightcrawler is your guy, and he is in my top 5 X-Men, but I know how much he means to you. So please, the floor is yours. Do you have any
How
questions
dare
or comments?
you? No.
I know you want to like just strangle me through the camera.
You don't need this much for therapy. No,
No,
please,
I mean,
Darren.
Yeah,
I
right.
went through I was unfortunately spoiled before going into
That's
the
right.
episode itself. But like I went in with like the pitchforks. I was like, they can't do this. That's my guy. And then as we kind of reached to the end, I was kind of like, well, if he has to go, that's a pretty great way for him to go. Like I thought that was a very beautiful. This character that like sees the life in everything. Like he would be the one to put down the play of like, I'm willing to do this because I see the future that can be, and that I don't want to see a future without all the people I love in it. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So this was pretty great. This is as sad as I will be. I thought it was pretty great. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's high praise because I know that it's a tough task, but it's comics, right? Like
Yeah.
what hurts today may be okay tomorrow. Who knows? Like
Sure.
we'll see. But yeah, no, that was hard, and I'm glad then that we at least like earned it for you, because I think that was like the hardest thing was we were just like we gotta earn this, like, because it feels like it's a big swing, right? Like to do this to everybody again, we're like, this is daring, so it just has to be what feels true to the character, because we wouldn't want to do him dirty like that. And I think being able to set him up with the Colossus episode, because to me that episode, Savage Land, was really more about him kind of saving Colossus, actually, more like less so than Creed. Like he's trying for Creed, but really he sees that his buddy Colossus is hurting.
He looks at him. He looks at Pete, being like
Yeah,
you blame
he's like,
yourself, and like, oh shit.
Yeah, because it's like his buddy just joined a cult, like lost his sister and joined a cult, and he's just like, you need to come home. Like, but I'm gonna do it by trying to appeal to this other guy who he is genuinely trying to reach, but it's just like he knows what he's doing. He's preaching to everybody. And I as a queer person do sometimes have a hard time trying to display religion in a healthy way, because I'm like, it's just got to be like, what's the positive way, what is the good side of this that we can show him. But with Kurt, it's the good side, right? It's the empathic side, and it's the side that really was paying attention and reading the passages, and it's like, I want to sacrifice myself because I want to see these people happy, and I know that they will be happy even without me. And meanwhile, the rest of us are like, what are you talking about? We're all going to be devastated without you. Rogue is probably going to lose her mind. Like, now she's losing a brother after losing 2 of like her hot men. Like, what are you doing? But he's such a good boy. Nightcrawler. Oh, what a good
Even
baby.
the line you gave him in Savage Lands, where he's like, you may not be a mutant, but you're very much your father and mother's son. And it just like, that's how conniving, how just twisted Sabretooth and Mystique are. They're like, oh, you're not mutant, but you're definitely their offspring. You are definitely their son. And I remember even in that episode, like Rogue was backing him, like Kurt, please don't vouch for this guy. Like I'm your family. Like you don't have to. Like this is not the guy. And him, like, sister, please, like our brother. And he doesn't negate him, be like he's our brother. Like we have to live with this burden the way I have to live with the burden that I look like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I oh man, Adrian, if you're watching this, if somehow this guy see you, just thank you. Like I don't know.
He's incredible. He's just so good. Like to me, he is the perfect Nightcrawler, and he is a live action actor. I'm like, dude, put you in blue makeup. You could totally do this.
Yes.
Like, let's go, Adrian. He's amazing, and he's so lovely to work with. Like when he's in the booth and he really lights up, and he absolutely understands who this character is. And when he reads his lines, you're just like, he's doing like the poses, and you're just like, like. It's perfect, but all the cast they are such a pleasure to work with, but they really know how to embody these characters. Like whether it's the original cast coming back or the new cast that we've had, like they all just really truly understand, and it's so fun to watch them work because you're just like I get to play, and it's like they're right there. It's like they're real and they're right there. So, but yeah, Adrian's brilliant, absolutely.
Yeah, I again I have and how am I trying to say this? That like I get it. Like for us, we don't live in a bubble. We knew that like there might be some turbulence with this season, but I tell people that like even though I have my thoughts on this season, that this also does a lot of more heavy lifting than previous iterations of the X-Men, and hell, not even just X-Men, just a lot of in general television nowadays that we get. That it's still like the moments like Morph telling Logan like. Doesn't that make you sad? It makes me sad, Logan. Like even moments like that, I'm just like, yo, if I got that next season, I'm not complaining. Like I have my thoughts on the season as a whole and the structure and the pacing, but like I cannot negate a moment like that between Logan and Morph, and even moments with we didn't get to Jean and Scott and Cable, like when they finally tell them who they are, and I was like, oh no, like I was like this season it. Regardless of what y'all had to go through and how difficult the task was for second season, y'all didn't forget to not pull your punches with a lot of the emotions, and that goes a long way in my opinion. Especially where we're right now with media and entertainment, where some stuff sometimes feel like they do pull the punches. This was like no, for better for worse, we're not pulling the punches, and I generally do think Jack Kirby and Stan Lee would be proud.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, they're such heroes. I hope so. Every time they're like, "Oh, we should put a Stan reference in," I'm like, "We gotta put a Kirby reference in." Like,
yes,
it's great.
Especially if you know Kirby's history with where he stood and stuff and whatnot. Like, yeah, there's gotta be.
And as an artist, like I'm constantly like, I know Stan gets his praise, and that's great, and he gets it, especially in like the live action films when he was alive, and I was like, that's perfect. But then for me as an artist who like looked up to Kirby and understood a lot of the struggles that they went through, especially early on, it's like, well, then we're in animation. Let's bring some honor to these guys. So it might not be their like physical appearances, but like if we can throw a Kirby crackle in there, we have to 100% do that. Like it's iconic. Like how could you not? So no, it's great, and it's such a privilege to get to work on the show because it's like you guys, like I grew up with it. These are characters that mean a lot to me. Representation matters. I've been on a lot of superhero shows, and I was kind of getting tired of it because it's like there's only so much like saving the day, like what can we tell with this? But then to have one that's actually about all the social issues that are going on, that not just 90s, but sadly it's all cyclical, so it still applies today. And to be like, let's put this in there, like for Bo, Genosha was a representation of the Pulse shooting. Like it, for a lot of us, we were also tapping into 9/11 because that hit a lot of people. And then, oh God, like the persecution that happened to the Muslim community after that was just heinous. So it's like, there's so much that we can sadly pull from, but at least it's like, okay, but now we can like do it through a lens of X-Men, and then maybe hopefully people will at least understand that we're not trying to be like overly woke. This is just what the world is right now, and this is who the X-Men are and have always been. And so it's like, it's like, just help us feel a little bit better right now, please. Like,
yes,
just some sunshine in the horizon would be nice.
Yes.
So thank God for the X-Men. Thanks Stan Lee and Kirby and all of them. Like,
Claremont them, yeah, I 100% agree. We are at the hour mark. I know I only asked for an hour, so I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day.
yeah.
Um, Before
Thanks
we
for
let you
having
go,
me.
yeah, no, thank you
It's great.
for
No, I
taking.
love
This is
it.
an
Thanks for
absolute honor.
reaching out. Yeah, this is
No.
awesome. And like, I don't know, I feel like I can always talk about these guys. And I just like all praise and credit to the crew. And like, trust me, we have our feelings on season 2 as well. Like it was a slug, but we just wanted to make it at least as like beautiful and gorgeous and as like strong as we could because we all care, including Marvel. Like everybody cares.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I know that the writers are getting shit, and it's like it's not them either, guys. Like it's just
Trust me.
it's a cacophony of like terrible things that all rolled into one, and like on top of it, just being we were still coming out of the pandemic, you know. Like it's been hard times, pandemic, a second administration of this. It's like it's been a roller coaster. So I think we're all in this together. And I really appreciate when you guys reach out and you're like letting everybody know that you still enjoyed the ride, and thank you because it means a lot. It's been a long, hard work and a hard road for a lot of people on the crew. So just thanks. I mean, it truly goes a long way.
Please, thank you. I know before we let you head out, if I'm not mistaken, you did write a forward for the new for Rogues and Gambit's burning the house book.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's a fan
Um,
fiction book.
yes, folks, if you want to, please be on the lookout for that. I'm very eager to see what's about because I do love my Remy and Anna Marie stuff. So I want to see how that feels. But please plug
Yeah.
yourself. Is there anything you're working on soon, or something you want to promote, or stuff you want to highlight? Let people know they want to follow you or not. Please, the
Sure.
floor is yours. And also to
Yeah.
you, Darren, if you want to ask a last minute question or a comment, please do so.
Yeah. Well, that book proceeds go towards I think a charity in Canada, as I recall. So like any sales help. I haven't read it yet myself. I was like I'm gonna get my copy and relish it because, I mean I'm like you guys. So I as a young kid watching it, I started in fan fiction and fan art, right? Like it's what we do. It's like I need more content, so I guess I'll create it. Like I don't know, or just absorbing all the comics you could possibly find. So it was a privilege to also get to like write the forward because it just felt like, oh man, I love that people are creating. And then for any notes you guys have, it's like that's the fun part. Like I hope it inspires people, and not in a facetious way. I generally hope it inspires people to be like, well, I would tell that differently. Oh cool, how would I tell that differently? And then create it. And it doesn't matter where it
Yeah.
goes, just create it because I think that that's the fun part, is that these characters inspire us. So it's like, oh my god, like I love it then when people are like, I think I would have handled it differently. I'm like, then you should, like, and truly, like, because I
Yeah.
do it, like
Go pitch
everybody
it,
has a
yeah.
cool perspective, yeah, and pitch it. Oh my god, because you never know, it could be canon one day. Like they could actually be like, we will tell this story. So I love it because it's like, yeah, we can all do it. We're all nerds, we're all fans, we can all tap into that. I'm on Invincible now. I jumped over. I can't wait though. It's also sick. It's awesome. They've got like some, oh, if you know the comics, they've got some great stuff coming up.
Oh
So,
man,
oh man, get ready. Get ready. Get ready for me over there.
there's an in joke between our friends group of like how much I love Invincible and how they're like, oh, here comes Ronan with Invincible when that comes out.
Get ready. Yo, yeah.
Darren, do you have any last minute question or comment?
No, just thank you for letting me in, being to be in the room. I had no idea that I would be talking to you today, so this
No,
is
I
an
love
absolute
this.
honor.
I wanted to surprise him. Yeah, I didn't want to tell Darren, be like, yo, by the way,
Oh,
guess
I
what?
love
We're gonna
this. Yay. Darren,
I'll just
it's
nerd
so
out.
great.
I'll say that episode 5 of season 1 is probably my favorite episode of TV in general.
Oh, wow.
I adore
Thank
it.
You.
So thank you for
Thank
all your work
you.
on the first 2 seasons, and I hope you have great ventures elsewhere once you wherever
Oh, thanks
you go
so
next.
much. Yeah, I appreciate that. You're so sweet. No, I'm so glad you could be here too. I love talking to everybody because I think it's fun to be fans together too. So it's just like it's great to just ride that energy, and making shows is hard. So it's nice then to like get to enjoy it with everybody. And I wish the whole crew could. I know that Marvel starts to be like, shh, no, you can't, don't, no. They're and I'm like, well, but I'm gonna I'm gonna praise the crew because they're wonderful.
Yes,
'Cause
please.
they
Yeah.
truly are. Yeah, and I try and pass on whatever I can because like they deserve so many accolades. And I'm so excited for season 3. Like I did see some of the scripts in advance. They're amazing. So yeah, I hope you guys all check it out. It's gonna be crazy good. And thanks so much for having me. I'll be at Uncanny if you guys do Uncanny Experience next month.
I might be going. Hopefully everything goes right up until then, so I might see you in person. And but
Nice.
I really do hope this is not the last time we speak. And whenever we do bring up X-Men or anything X-Men talk, if you're free and or want to, the mi casa su casa, the door is
Oh,
open always for you right
gracias.
now.
Yeah, please reach out. That would be super lovely. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much, and have a good day. And then again, thank you so much again. Hopefully you
Yeah,
have a
of
good
course.
rest of your day.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
Holy shit.